Imagine this. You wake up in the dark, and the room is already filled with the whisper of your thoughts. You reach for your phone, but the screen shines not with answers, but with emptiness. It feels like the world spins on its own, and you are a passenger without a seatbelt. You perform your habits automatically, as if your brain is set to autopilot. And then a strange feeling arrives. Everything you know about the mind, relationships, and attraction is a surface-level version of reality. It's as if you hear a double sound of your emotions but don't understand who sets the rhythm. You are standing on the threshold of a discovery you didn't even suspect. Now you will see the hidden power of your mind, and it doesn't look like motivation. It is the cold engineering of thinking. For years you were told a myth. First become better, then you'll receive respect, confidence, and the relationships of your dreams. This myth forced you to collect other people's approval like small change in your pockets. But the truth is tougher and more honest. Respect and attraction don't come after an upgrade. They come after you change the initial frame from which you act. You don't wait for confidence. You create behavior, and the brain catches up with emotions. You don't beg for attention. You form the context of communication and set the meaning. You change your inner geometry, and the world stops elbowing you aside. The old setting collapses like a house of cards. The big idea in one sentence: reality reacts not to your words, but to your invisible format. Frame of value. The first activation of hidden power. Imagine a text exchange. You write to someone who matters to you, and the reply comes curt and late. Inside, emotions launch. Anxiety, doubt, the urge to prove your worth. You write again, justify yourself, speed up, and you lose. The frame shift sounds like this: I am a source, not a petitioner. You enter communication as a person whose value doesn't require proof before the conversation begins. Microsignals change. Pauses grow steadier. Your voice becomes heavier. Your gaze more stable. People read this faster than words, and your relationships restructure without extra explanations, because human psychology senses the format before it understands the meaning. Loop of interpretations. The second activation. The event is neutral. The pain is invented by you. A colleague walks past, and the brain completes the story. They don't respect me. Emotions flare, habits take the wheel, and you roll back into old behavior. Stop and separate. The fact is one line. Interpretations are many. The choice is yours. Choose the version that preserves your power. They're in their own head. My focus is on results. This isn't self-placation. It's the discipline of thinking that changes your emotional chemistry. When you govern meaning, the brain retunes reactions, and communication stops being a field of random explosions. Archive of bodily memory. The third activation. Confidence is not a thought. It's a state of the nervous system coded into posture, breathing, and micro-movements. You enter a room where the important sit, and the body whispers, I'm lower. And the voice fades without words. Change your physiology. A long exhale, shoulder blades set back, steady feet, a pause before the first sentence. The brain reads the body and offers emotions to fit the new form. This is biology, not magic. Repeat a 1-minute reset 3 times a day, and the habits of anxiety begin to weaken. Thus is born a quiet confidence that doesn't need a loud presentation. Relationships and attraction read it instantly, because the mind and body finally operate on the same frequency. Immunity to others' expectations. The fourth activation. The world shouts the right way, and you imperceptibly live indebted to other people's voices. It seems as though evaluations matter more than your own trajectory, and emotions become blackmail. Write out a short 1-page manifesto. 3 values, 3 prohibitions, 3 directions of growth. These are not slogans. These are the nutritional boundaries of your mind and thinking. When someone comes with a borrowed script, the manifesto answers in place of your weak spots. You stop justifying yourself and start choosing where your communication is truly needed. Respect is a consequence of clear boundaries, not a gift from people you manage to please. Silence is power. The fifth activation. You get interrupted, and you speed up, lose rhythm, and let emotions negotiate for you. Try the 1, 2, 3 rule. 1 second of silence after their line, 2 short lines of meaning, 3 seconds of pause so the meaning can land in the space. A pause is not emptiness. It is a frame of authority. It fixes your format without aggression. People hear better when you don't compete in loudness but govern the tempo. In relationships, this turns dialogue from a fight for attention into an exchange of clarity. In negotiations, it shifts you from defense into the position of context creator. Your confidence becomes dense without unnecessary noise. Now about the pain you hide. Rejection, insecurity, misunderstanding. Rejection is not a sentence. It's a filter of frequencies that screens out those who can't hear your signal. Changing the phrasing from, "I was rejected," to "my format isn't their request" returns power over your emotions. Insecurity doesn't leave through thinking. It leaves through small actions. Say one honest no without excuses, and the nervous system records, "survived." Ask for a raise even if your voice trembles, and the brain fixes a new scale. Ask calmly for feedback in relationships, and communication stops being a guessing game. In this way, habits begin to work for you, not against you. Let's add scientific precision without boredom. The brain is a prediction machine, not a storage of facts. It saves energy by repeating familiar patterns of behavior and emotion, even when they harm. You update models through new micropatterns, not through occasional promises. The protocol is simple. A 1% shift every day, one action toward a new version of you. Wrote, refused, asked, proposed, stayed silent. Checkmark into the system and predictions update. After 3 months of consistency, your inner geometry becomes stable. Confidence stops being a mood and becomes infrastructure. External circumstances still make noise, but your mind ceases to be their loudspeaker. A mini story. You were used to yielding in meetings because you don't want conflict. Today you sit straight, wait for a pause, and deliver one compact thought without fuss. The room shifts its angle toward you slightly, and this isn't magic. It's the psychology of attention. You didn't raise your voice. You changed the format, and communication became clearer. In the evening, you honestly refuse an acquaintance a free service, and suddenly notice your emotions didn't explode. The next day, you ask that very person from the text exchange for a meeting calmly, without rush. They answer respectfully, even if declining, because your format from now on doesn't beg. It offers. Small acts straighten the trajectory faster than a year of reading advice. An important reminder, your habits are not shackles. They are circuits you can retune. Start with the basics. Sleep, movement, breathing, digital hygiene. The brain needs a clean signal so thinking doesn't slide into anxious noise. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Introduce windows of silence for deep work. And return to the body the right to dictate a calm rhythm. A simple daily ritual. Fact, breath, choice of meaning, brief action. This strengthens confidence faster than any mantras. In relationships, the same steps give stability. Fewer guesses, more clear agreements. You stop being a hostage to emotions and become their tuner. And here is what changes when your mind truly wakes up. You stop chasing attraction, and people themselves are drawn to quiet strength. You don't seek permission to speak truth, and communication becomes direct yet careful. You don't try to be better than everyone. You become more honest with yourself, and confidence grows out of that honesty. The world doesn't become softer, but your inner frame becomes firmer. You've learned to change interpretations, hold a pause, set boundaries, and act by 1% every day. You are no longer a sum of reactions. You are the author of your life's context. Remember the phrase that will anchor the new format. I am the source of context, not a seeker of attention.